Breaking news that Canadian media won't show you. Chrystia Freeland flip-flops. In preparation for her Liberal leadership bid, Chrystia Freeland is saying that she is now opposed to the carbon tax. Wait, what? Here's Freeland 7 months ago trying to convince you that the carbon tax makes you richer.
Our government is absolutely confident that the price on pollution returns more money to the pockets of 8 out of 10 Canadians. It is, and that there's just kind of common sense to that.
In local news, how is our medical system really working? This is how desperate people are in Canada to find a family doctor. A physician in Brockton, Ontario, starting his new practice, said he would take on 500 new patients, hundreds lined up in the freezing cold in hopes of signing up.
It's insane. This is just not what the medical healthcare system is supposed to be like in Ontario.
Got here about 5:30 and been on the Healthcare Connect list for about 10 years now. Haven't had a doctor for longer than that, so kind of a strange way to have people sign up for a doctor, but hopefully I get one.
I'm happy for the citizens of Brockton that have a doctor today, but still very concerned about the lack of medical care here in Canada. In international news, things just get more crazy. Let's take a moment to appreciate Justin Trudeau's brilliant strategy for handling Trump's latest warning shot across the bow. Trump threatens to slap a 25% tariff on Canadian goods to pressure Canada to tighten up border security and stop the flow of fentanyl. And Trudeau's response? A $150 billion countermeasure plan that includes the possibility of crippling Alberta's energy sector. Just one small problem. Alberta said, no thanks. Danielle Smith, Alberta's premier, flatly refused to sign on to any plan that includes export levies or energy restrictions. She said federal officials are floating the idea of cutting off energy supply to the US and imposing tariffs on Alberta energy. Until these threats cease, Alberta cannot support the federal government's plan. She's between a rock and a hard place. Clearly, she sees how Trudeau's plan could cripple her province. Like any smart leader, she jumps on a plane to Mar-a-Lago to defend her province's interest. In the meantime, Ford and Trudeau talk about how they are prepared for Ontario to make the sacrifice in their auto sector. The inference that Alberta should not be exempt from making the said sacrifice. Interesting how these MPs have not asked Canadians if they are prepared to make these sacrifices. With everyone banging the drum on power, you can bet that this will evolve quickly. And voters have not had their say. As Trudeau is about to step down, a man named Carney steps up in the Liberal leadership race. But is Mark Carney a safe choice? Be worried, very worried. If Trudeau was the puppet, many believe that Mark Carney was strategically put in place to be Trudeau's advisor, or also known as puppeteer. Who does Mark Carney really report to? Is that George Soros? Klaus Schwab? Who knows? So while it appears that Chrystia Freeland got thrown under the bus or fired, many folks believe there was always a clear plan to install another WEF plant. Is the chosen one Mark Carney? Has this plan been in the making for quite some time? Both Freeland and Carney have had a long history with the WEF. If this is all true, Canadians are not done fighting the good fight. Trudeau may have stepped down, but the ideology of a one-world order may live on in the Liberal government. Who is Carney? Well, when they tell you who they are, believe them. Carney considers himself European, not Canadian. How could he become Canada's Prime Minister? Here he is on a WEF panel.
Irish citizen, yeah. So there you
welcome.
go.
Welcome.
Speaking as a European, I like to say following.
Here's a video where Carney threatens Canadians that they will be punished if they don't contribute to carbon tax.
Society is putting tremendous value
on achieving net zero. So the companies and those who invest in them and lend to them, who are part of the solution, will be rewarded. But those who are lagging behind and are still part of the problem will be punished.
Carney has authoritarian tendencies. He advocated for the Emergencies Act to be deployed on Canadians and freeze bank accounts during the Freedom Convoy. Even Elon Musk is asking, is it true? Ezra Levant reports on X that Trudeau's government illegally hid documents showing that Canada contracted out immigration policy to George Soros' foundation. Don't take my word for it. Do your research. It's a big rabbit hole, and if you do this research, it comes with a warning. Ignorance truly is bliss. So if you do look on X for George Soros, or Klaus Schwab, or WEF, it's a road you could never come back from. It's intense, and it changes the way you look at things. Klaus Schwab openly admits to penetrating Trudeau's cabinet. This is a real video where he proudly and openly admits that over half the Justin Trudeau Liberal cabinet works with him and the WEF.
So yesterday I was at a reception for Trudeau, and I know that half of this cabinet, or even more half of this cabinet, are actually young global leaders of the World Economic Forum.
A little note that Chrystia Freeland sits on the WEF board. What is Freeland's new mission? Do you now believe her flip-flop of carbon tax? Share this video with your friends and tell them to do their homework. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. I'll keep you updated on this as these stories develop. For the record, I am healthy and I do not have any end-of-life tendencies. I love my wife, my family, my clients, and my country. I share this video to empower you with knowledge and hope that all Canadians do their homework. We all have a lot to think about, but the good news is we can do our part. You can protect your assets and take actions to be less injured by world politics. Give us a call and we can share with you some ideas to protect your wealth and protect your family's future. My name is Glenn Zacher and I'm CEO of McGuire Financial. My number is in the description and comment section of this video. I'm happy to help where I can. It's not too late to get your money secured because, after all, it's your money.